Hey YTPC, this is Ben coming to you on another beautiful night here in Southern California on my back patio, smoking my pipe. Felt like a cob today, smoking some Haunted Bookshop. Really good. I haven't had a burley based blend in a while. I can't talk tonight. But just wanted to do a quick video response to Kane Rod Piper's Faith Chat Friday. Really awesome thing you're doing, man. Really glad that you brought this topic up because religion is, well, I don't want to say religion, but my relationship with God and with Jesus is such a huge part of my life. It's one of the favorite things I like talking about. Me and my buddies always have talks about the Bible and Jesus, and we love that stuff. But you know, a lot of people have said some great things in their video responses, and I agree with a lot of what people have said. And you know, I've known from a very young age that there was a God. You know, I just look around and I see creation and I see the world and the intricacy of it, and you can't deny that there's a God. You know, you can't deny that there's a designer. Somebody designed all this. It just didn't accidentally happen. No way. I mean, in reality, something that's intricate, you know, doesn't usually happen on accident. There's a creator or cause behind it, you know. And you know, I could never subscribe to the evolutionary idea that everything came out of nothing, you know. I mean, there had to be a cause and a creator to all this, you know. But you know, I grew up in the church too. My parents were both strong believers, and my dad, he's actually still a pastor. But I grew up going to Sunday school and all that. But you know, just because you grow up in church doesn't mean that you believe in God and that you're you're saved. You know, I grew up in church, learning a lot about God. Um, Actually went to a Christian university, Biola University, which is Bible Institute of Los Angeles. It's probably considered one of the greatest Christian schools in the world, one of the most well-known Christian schools. A lot of top-notch theologians, Christian theologians, come and teach there, or they come as guest speakers. Men like William Lane Craig, Francis Chan. Man, I'm trying to think of who else. Just a ton of great Christian theologians and pastors have walked through those halls and taught or preached there, you know. And you know, I learned a lot about God all throughout my childhood and thought I knew a lot, but I didn't know what was the most important thing, you know. And I was living my life. I was actually pretty self-righteous, you know, thinking that I was fine and everything was good. I'm a good Christian boy, right? I was raised in the church and got married to my beautiful wife, Jessica. You guys have seen her in the video. And had my first kid, and life was going well, and I thought everything was great, man. You know, and serving in a church and stuff. And I had continued going to church because, you know, it was just part of my culture. It was how I was raised. It was something I was comfortable with. And but what I was doing, really, I was just kind of thinking that I could, you know, deep down inside, when I look back on it, I could admit now, when I look back on it, that I was just doing church to try and please God, you know, trying to check off some check marks and earn favor with him and earn my way to heaven, you know? But when you look at the God of the Bible, Jesus, and I believe in Jesus as my Lord and Savior, um, you know, that's not what he looks for, and that's not what saves you. But more on that later. So I'm living my life and I'm thinking everything's hunky-dory and I'm good, a good Christian boy, right? I'm checking off all the right marks, doing all the right things. And 4 years into my marriage, it was like 3 or 4 years into my marriage, our church puts on a men's retreat. And we go to this tiny little beach called Halama Beach. I think it was like south of San Luis Obispo or something like that. Really nice beach in like a remote area. I mean, it was kind of a task to get there. But we're out there, and the pastor, he asked us to go have a time of reflection and prayer. And he tells us, I want you guys to just think about some things in your life that aren't right, where you and God aren't right, or if you have some anxieties or stress or things that you just need to give over to God, you know? And when he said that, I'm thinking in my mind, oh, I'm good. I couldn't really think of anything, right? Which is kind of a haughty, prideful, you know, stance to take, because everybody's messed up somewhere. We're all messed up, you know, human beings in one way, shape, or form. There's always something, right? But I'm thinking in my head, I'm good. Yeah, I'm a good Christian boy. And the reason why I believe in God now, and why I know him, and not just know about him, there's a difference. There's a huge difference. The reason I know God now is because he spoke to me. And God speaks to people who come to him with an open heart. And I was like thinking, okay, I'm good, but, you know, I'll go sit and pray and have a time of prayer. And as I'm sitting there praying, and I'm praying to God, and I ask him, okay, God, you know, if there's anything that you want to show me, or there's something wrong with me, then show it to me. You know, reveal yourself to me, reveal it to me. And I said it honestly, you know, with an honest, open heart. I'm sitting there, and this was the only time in my life where I've heard the audible voice of God in my head. You know, it was in my head, and I knew it was a voice that was coming from outside of me. It wasn't my voice, you know. And I hear this voice say, Ben, you might think you're okay, but you're not. And then he said, seek my face, or seek after me. And after I heard that voice, and all these things started popping into my head, all these areas in my life where I actually wasn't quite as fine as I thought I was, or all these areas in my walk with God where I wasn't as good or doing what he actually calls us to do in his word, you know? You know, from that point on, it set me on this trajectory of seeking a deep, intimate relationship with Jesus. And, you know, I found out, you know, that's what's important. That's the important thing in life. It's not how much you know about God. It's not all the things that you do for God to try to earn his favor, because, you know, we can never earn his favor, you know, by our own actions, you know, by our own works. The only way that we can get right with God is what Jimmy talked about in his video, Jimmy Tabaki, is to stop thinking that, you know, we could do this on our own, that we don't need to, you know, serve or love our Creator. And to realize that we need him, and he loves us, and he wants a relationship with him. And And the only way that you can be saved and come into right standing with God is to accept his free gift of salvation. What Jimmy talked about in his video, that finished work that he did on the cross at Calvary, where his sacrifice acted as a substitution for the punishment we deserve for rebelling against God and rejecting God. You know, and it brings us back into right standing with the God who created us, and makes it possible for fallen, sinful human beings to be in right relationship with their Creator again, and to have an intimate relationship. If you read the Bible, you'll find that what God truly desires from his people, even in the Old Testament, is their love. And like Jimmy said, he gives us free will to choose whether we want to love him or not, you know? And that's what it comes down to. And that's probably the most important decision that you're going to make in your life, because it's going to determine, you know, what happens to you in the next, you know? Whether you're going to choose to love God and serve him, or whether you're going to reject him and his free gift of salvation, the way that he made for us to be in right standing with him again. But I've just found that, you know, after that retreat, you know, I'd gone through my whole life growing up in the church, learning a lot about Jesus, but I didn't truly know him. And now I can honestly say that after coming to him with a honest, open heart, I'm in a deep, intimate relationship with him. And he speaks to me through his word. He speaks to me through other people. God speaks to us in so many different ways, but a lot of times we're just not listening, or we choose not to listen. But I would just encourage you guys, even if you've grown up in the church, you know, and think that you have it all down, you know, and that you're right with God and stuff like that. The Bible talks about in the Psalms about allowing God to search your heart and to know you, and to reveal things to you. And it also talks in Jeremiah that if you seek him with an open heart, and you seek him with all of your heart, that you'll find him, and he'll reveal himself to you. So I just wanted to leave you guys with this, you know. Just want to encourage you guys, both if you're in the church or outside of the church, or if you're a believer or not a believer, or you're on the fence, or whatever it may be, that you just honestly come before God and ask him, God, if you're really there, reveal yourself to me. And if you come to him with an honest heart, he'll do it. He'll do it. So that's all I got to say about that. Cane Rod, again, I just want to thank you for opening this discussion up. It's just awesome, and I want to thank everybody else who has done a video response. A lot of the video responses have just touched me very much, and just encouraged me a lot. So God bless everybody. Hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you later. This is Iron Brigade Piper signing out.